Hey guys, this is a fun presentation. I'm going to be quick about this, but I really enjoy this. I wish there were a lot more than 8 ways, really. But these are the main ways, and we gathered over the years in probably almost touching 100 different size web crawling, web scraping projects. And here are the common themes. Okay, 8 ways web servers can tell your web crawler apart from humans. Your browser signature, user agent string. This is what it looks like. If you look at it here, each browser and each request passes, every browser in this world passes something called a user agent string, which is a header string which identifies the kind of browser it is, whether it's, you can see here, Mozilla and Chrome. This is basically Chrome on Windows, right? And Safari on Windows. And these are all the ways web servers know it. So it looks a little weird, but web servers have a list of these and they know which version and which operating system and which particular version of the browser and what browser is requesting the document that it's requesting. So that this was originally conceived because then web servers could serve um, different HTML and different CSS so that it is customized for that particular environment, whether it's the operating system or if it's a phone or whatever, right? And so that was how it was necessary. Now they use this understanding, and bots don't do that by default. So if you're running a web crawling bot, it identifies itself as nothing. That's suspect. But if it does identify itself as a bot, that's even worse. And so you got to have something, and something that it is familiar with. And you will see that later on that that's not also enough. You'll have to rotate these because then it knows, that's how it knows it's the same guy coming over and over again to my website, so it can block you after a while. So big thing. And this is a simple example of how you can't have just three of these. Go get it online. If you just Google user agent strings list, you'll get like a lot of them. Take the latest ones, put in about at least 100 of these into this function, whether it's this function in this is PHP, I think you can change it into Python, whatever. It's a pretty simple random function out of an array, and make the array as big as possible, and then you can get going. Yeah, second way they can tell you that you are um, not human is the IP address remains the same, and so it gets blocked. Right? So it, because humans come from different places, so it's very odd that hundreds of requests come from the same IP address. So you can change your IP address frequently by sort of restarting a router if you're on a local machine, or even buying different IPs associating with your web server if you're on a server, or just running on different servers. All right, all of these will get eventually blocked. Trust me. I'm very happy to be the bearer of sad news, but that's always going to happen if you browse a site of any decent quality. Most of them are expecting it. It's all inbuilt into the algorithms anyway. So what you need, the only way really out of all this, is having a rotating proxy service like Proxies API. I'm the founder of Proxies. Well, we'll come to that later. Let's take you through this journey anyway, just for your understanding. So change your IP to a proxy, but don't change your browser's identity. That's another way. So even if you do this, suppose that you change your IPs, but if you actually look at the web server logs, somehow 300 different locations across the world are coming from the same browser signature. That's odd, right? So the solution is you will have better results when you rotate both. So you got to rotate proxies and you got to rotate the browsers that's being used. Now you're confusing the web server. Are you? Maybe not. So here's you don't have enough proxies, so gradually all of them will get blocked. We discussed this already. Or you're making too many requests per second, right? So if you're doing that per IP, you'll get blocked again. So you gotta rotate all the time, right? Reduce the request per second if you're a normal person. If you're a weird person like me, you're gonna use the proxy service and hit it how many ever times you want, right? You're too regular in your requests, right? That means that it's very matrix like. You're like going every milliseconds there's a request. You can see it in this timestamp, so it's very easy. Anybody who's looking at it, even manually, can just block you, right? So put in a random interval between the requests, right? But if you use, of course, rotating proxies, then it's coming all over from all over the place, and because of that, there is always some slight delay anyway, and these variances are automatically introduced. And you're not sending back cookie data. So even if you're using rotating proxies, this matters because they send, let's say, the web server typically sometimes sends a cookie data to identify you across pages. And if you're not sort of sending it back, which is standard practice, and completely ignoring that, then there's something wrong. That's easy to tell, even if you're using a rotating proxy. And so we support that inherently, by the way. And there are lots of other small clues which we've accumulated over the years, and all these combinations and routing mm, we've accumulated, and we use all of those tricks. And you're unable to solve CAPTCHAs. This is another thing. They'll just throw you a CAPTCHA and then to see if you're human. Right? But if you're coming from different IPs, actually, this is very difficult for them to even throw that because there seem to be just one request per IP, really. Yeah, this is okay in small projects, all these tricks, but if you are really looking for to scale this, you need a rotating proxy service. There's just no other, you don't even have to go for mine, but I'm saying that, it's silly to skimp on this. Using Proxies API, if you do decide, have a look at it. 1,000 APIs calls are completely free per month. No questions asked, no credit card required. You can just go get your key right now. You don't need to do anything else. You will get your key the moment you register. And try a curl request using, maybe you have a URL that you're really blocked on. Give us a toughie, use it and see if this works for you. And if not, just do try other stuff, and hopefully that should be enough in most cases if you don't want to really do thousands of these requests per day on a regular basis. Then you're fine doing putting some measures in and you'll be fine, to be honest. Thank you guys.